First off, there's only 3. I don't...
Objection!
Objection! So you're saying that there were 4 books? That's right, I remember all of them. The picture, Monsieur Somebody. What's a yearning? A tale? A meal for someone, and the thingy gummy something. Sorry, Miss Beat. Mrs. Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in the statement of yours. Oh no, what? What flaw? Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there was only 3 books, not 4. Oh shit! Boom, 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 boom. With the violin. Sorry, I am so excited. Ace Attorney music hits like no other. What? This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant bought his books. Your books? Yes, and it details Mr. Natsumi's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed. Only 3? But no, they can't be. I remember seeing them. There are 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books. Oh, really? Having a look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books. But I just don't believe it. I saw them there, I swear it, I saw them. No, madame, I'm afraid your power of observation cannot be relied upon. Wait until Van Zyke is like, LMAO, the victim also had a book. That's the 4th one, it's in her hand. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Objection!
Oh no. It's plainly evident that it is your power of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nepalese friend. What? What cannot be denied is that there's 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well you had no hope of disproving. Ah! So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair? He sees right through me. Your plan has somewhat recoiled against you. What are you talking about? Quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. The policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect. Oh! You see, the matter is not up for debate. The scene of Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books. Quite right, only 3 can be seen. In the print. The print? You mean to say... Allow me to present another, one that shows the victim's hand. The Lion's Pride. Wait a second. Hold on a minute. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book. As you will observe, the 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso. No! No! Order! Order! There, you see? Look at that! Look! Yes. Just like I said, isn't it, my darling? Yes, sir. Patricia's always right, sir. Let's study this receipt from the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat the titles once again, if you please. Oh yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur someone or other. The picture of Monsieur Lacour. What's it earnings? Canterbury earnings. A meal for someone. A meal for Gorbori, in fact. Gorboria. And the court has just heard. The witness remembers the 4 book tiles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Beat's power recollection could only be described as exceptional. You hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment. Yes, flawless, Patricia's flawless. She do be pretty, I won't diss that. And she's older than me, so I'm allowed to say it. No, I don't look like a creep. but there's only 3 books on the receipt, and Miss Beat mentioned 4. There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly the 4th book is that which shown in the photographic prints. Sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th be omitted from receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photographic one clearly shows, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim. Victim holding her own book? You know, that does make sense, you know. Wonder what became of that 4th book? Why was it not recovered? Unless it was, and they haven't shown it. Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers of Scotland Yard. Then why wasn't it presented near the court? I have it here as evidence. That's clearly not the same book. You will submit that in aforementioned photographic print to the court, please, counsel. My pleasure, my lord. Second crime scene. Photo. Second crime scene was taken by a police manager at the incident. Specifically shows the victim's hand. 4th book entitled The Lion's Pride discovered at the victim's hand in the scene. Hold on, shut up, Van's like, I don't care. Not listening, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt. You're right. Never been able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages. What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edge of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently. A book recently damaged by fire. Why does it seem to raise a red flag with me? 4th book. The back cover is badly burnt. I have all the evidence I need. The prosecution rests. I have no further to add. Oh, Van Zykes, you loser, you little squabbly squoo. What? You seem surprised, my learned friend. Well, your resistance until now has been in vain entirely. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused lodging that you try to establish in your summation examination. And the attempt discrediting the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination. Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I? You see, everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling? Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat. So perhaps the lady and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nepalese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make too apparent already? Heard all the witnesses and seen all the evidence. You've presented all the evidence that you have, Van Zykes, not that you have presented all of it. This court has run its course. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we're in a terrible, precarious position. I know, but if I fight back it the wrong way now, I could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke, think. What do we do now? We raise an objection, baby!
Objection!
I'm not done yet. No, my learned friend, it's over. Last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense, and you failed. The die has been cast. There is no more room for debate, but there is room for water. Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but I can't think of what to say. If I may, Lord Van Zykes, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point. Your insignificant little eastern island must be a lawless hole indeed. Jesus. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this. Oh. No, don't let him discourage you, Suzuto. You bring the power. Maya saved us in future. You must succeed her. I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. But you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential and her opinions invaluable. Naruhodo. One of these land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So, oh my god. Tolerance such as, letting... Oh no, I shouldn't say this. Such as letting Muslims harm our citizens and let them free, for this is tolerance. I said it, it's too late. I've established my political leaning right then and there. One of the land's great. So the court will hear you, madam. Go ahead, Miss Suzuto, please. Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we overlooked in this matter that you seem to you see fit to pursue further? Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after the last cross-examination finished. I see. And you believe that the new evidence warrants further examination, do you? Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that the new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to ask the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. We must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible. Yes, I understand that, and thank you, Miss Suzuto. I'm going to make sure that this is a re-examine, and I'm pretty sure I got it all. Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride. Afraid I don't know any English literature at all. But wouldn't it be something I've heard? Wait a minute. Lion's Pride. Strange. I think I have heard of that book by that name before. And very recently, too. I don't recognize too, Miss Naruhodo. I know why. Is that it? Just we've examined, we've done it. We've done our job. This is it. Suzuto-san has managed to win us one last chance here. We can't let it go to waste. The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord. Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case, and has hitherto been overlooked.
Take that!
It's the fourth book, right? The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. Fourth book found in the victim's hand.
Objection!
We've already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being in the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know. Afraid counsel must concur with the prosecution on this matter. I forwarded you this opportunity. You led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a undiscovered clue. So I must insist that you elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear? Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be on the right track. Yes, I think you may be right. So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case, which the fourth book conceals? Right. Let's just examine it again. We've already heard it. I fire here so much that you can read it all anymore. That's right. Such a pity. You see that flaking edge of the burnt pages in the Naruhodo? And it surely is time the damage occurred relatively. Wait, is this new dialogue?
Got it!
Would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question. The back? What do you... Good gracious! It's burnt to a crisp. We have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniable, an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection!
Unfortunate, unnatural, you say, and what of it, my Nipponese friend? Oh. Well, I concede the point. If it bears no relation to this case, there's nothing to discuss. Or should you wish to assert that the fire damaged some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do you enlighten us all? What truth does this charred book hide? Charred book? There's just one possibility here, which I can't quite bring myself to rule out. An outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. Alright, I'll explain my theory. Don't keep us waiting any longer, counsel. Explain the theory of yours. What are you suggesting that can ascertain from fire that Spellbread Debo has suffered? Its owner. My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals startling truth about the book's owner. I beg your pardon. What? We already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand and she fell to the floor. After all, it's obviously hers. The question of how this book came to be in that victim's hand is yet to be answered. However, as to the question of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers. Good gracious, how could you possibly? Very well, I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here has very likely influenced the final outcome of this trial. So tell the court, what do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who owns the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. The landlords. Whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know, but all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen from jury duty in this court today, is none other than Miss Garadeb herself. Oh my goodness, me? I think you might be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you had just dropped the pretense. Although, alright then, how about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all the books he keeps, sir.
Objection!
This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused landlady, you say? You're implicated in this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions aren't forgivable.
Objection!
This is no mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed in the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room on the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. Good Lord! What sort of incident, counsel? A fire, my lord. Sorry to say it happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bally thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The wall of furniture started going up as well. Worst of it, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? By Jove, the very same title to the subject of the debate. Oh dear me.
Objection!
This is receivable. All you told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. In which case, it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself at the scene of the crime. Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb even amid the flames. Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to one you love. Can you, Rolly? Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir. Long loading screen? All my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I back against the window, under the heavy enemy fire, incendiary books incoming 10 to dozen. Man had his back up against the window, and he had the burning books floating at him? Goodness gracious, Art, are you suggesting that the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
Objection!
This does sound insane. No, a thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. There was no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken. Quite true. We also saw no sign of broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But it's not conceivable that the window was open at the time not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter. Ah! Does the defense postulate the scenario in all seriousness, counsel? You earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife. I believe it's a possibility, my lord. That's quite enough. Oh. 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 Well, I hope everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster. Call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward. A mean coward. Really? Claiming our little tips set the whole neighbor alight? Oh, honestly. Lying there merely posing as a maid for appearance sake? How could you? Nothing to do with this beastly case, not any of it. All you have to do is solely our family's name. No, I assure you, that was never my intention. Dragging our upstanding citizen name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense? The box sure is, that's what I should do. Utterly unbreakable. Too right. Here we go. How long have we sat here now, listening to this Nipponese, spreading out his fancy foreign theories? What? Think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could have possibly stabbed the victim is the one hunchback man with the mustache, and he ran away from the scene, too. I do declare, right? True. Yes, what did I tell you? Makes sense to me. Sorry? What's that? It would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What's your position, Lord Van Zykes? In truth, my lord, I feel like they've been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage. No, wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been... If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time. What? No forgive the discourtesy this time? In this case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear.
Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Thank you for the unambiguous response. It's twice now. It's over. Naruhodo, don't give up! Suzuto. Forgotten? Battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting... Of course, the defense has the right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their mind. We have one more chance. My lord, the defense asked to exercise its right to a summation examination. You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve? I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth. There's no point, there's no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance to stay strong and determined. God, Pursuit hasn't played once. They're still playing. I almost just tried to click with my mouse. I was just... Save your current progress? Yeah. We'll be back, boys. We'll be back.